The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, guys, welcome to the session, and let's start this session, the bonus session, to give you guys the chance to learn something more, something additional out of your syllabus, so that you guys will do good job in your career. So, first of all, let me tell you what actually this agenda is going to be. What we are going to see today, we are going to see and touch a very famous problem in the Salesforce industry. Almost every developer will face this kind of challenge, and especially those people who are coming from different platforms, .NET, Java, who has habit of getting the easy solution for this problem in your SQL, in your Oracle uh, databases, and now in Salesforce, you guys are getting surprised that why it's not available in Salesforce. For those people also, this session is going to be giving good idea or good information, and by using this then information you can do the work in your office. So let me tell you actually here what actually is the business problem. So the business problem that we are going to see here for this session is using select star in Salesforce. Now there's a big problem because you know that in if you are working on SQL platform, Oracle platform, you have this facility. You can the actually the main benefit of select star is by using select star, you can get all the fields in that table. For example, there is a table, and in that table you are having, let's say, 50 fields. So if you want to get the, and the table name is, let's say, client information. So what you can do is select star from client information. That's it. All the 50 columns you are going to get from that single query. But in Salesforce, you have a problem. Select first name, comma last name, comma age, comma experience, comma salary, comma address, comma second middle name, comma fax number, comma email address, comma website. All these things you have to explicitly mention, and this is because of the limitation of not supporting select star. Salesforce SQL language doesn't support select star. So what is the alternate solution for you? Now let me tell you what we guys do. So we also have the requirements like this in our project, and we also have to work on this kind of scenarios quite often. So let me tell you then what we guys do for this kind of problem, or how we solve this issue. So for this I will do one thing. I will now go to the Salesforce environment, and I will focus on any specific object, and I will show you the solution on this. So this way you will also get the knowledge to learn this concept. So I'm into the, let me go to Salesforce environment, and let me log into Salesforce. So let's assume we are working on a project of Parker company, and we are having one object called as Parker pen. And now I want to make a query on this Parker pen, and I'm interested to bring all the fields of the Parker pen. But the problem is I don't want to spend time in manually typing all these field names. If I want to do this in the Salesforce style, that is the non-select star style, then what I will do, let me go to the developer console. Let me go to developer console and let me show you then what is the way we have. If you don't have knowledge of today's topic, then what is the way you have for that? Let me show you that. So first of all, I'm going to, let's say I will open developer console, and in that I will go for anonymous window. All these things you know very well, how to use anonymous window, how to open developer. So now let me do one thing. So let me now write a query on that pin object, and now I'm going to do this in the regular Salesforce way. How we can do this? So select, and now I want to work on all the fields. So what I will do now, I will go for this pen objects object definition page where I can see all the fields of that object, and then let me show you. So we have to actually copy each and every field, by the way. It's loading, and now go to the list of fields. So let's say we are having 500 fields. Assume that we have 500 fields. So what you have to do now, you have to just copy, let's say price. Okay, copy price, and come to this page, select price, comma. What next? Okay, the next field is this, let's say created by. Okay, copy and paste. Again come here, and next is this, whatever field, just whatever coming last, modify, whatever, just copy and come here and paste, etc. Like this, do 500 times. Then from then your pen object API name, let me copy. The object API name is here in the first tab, detail. I'm going to copy the API name, and here API name I copied, and I actually pasting here. And now you run, and now you will get the result after this. And uh, please note that now this is something by which you are going to get the solution. Okay, so now I will do one thing. I will just copy this query. Let me just copy this query, and let me just here put this in the query editor. Or we can do also one thing. Here I will just put this query in the square box, and then the container, left hand side container, which is going to collect all the results of this query. So let me just prepare here list of list of all pen records, and copy, and then list of all pen records, and let's say I will write here pen list, something like that. And then after that equal to then this query, and then finally I will be getting all the results, and then I can actually use this by system.debug. Then whatever I want to do, that is a different thing, that's a different topic, or that's a different scenario, but this way I can do it. And if I have 500 fields, then I have to copy 500 times, and this is not a easy way when you have large number of fields. So this is the regular Salesforce way to fetch the data. So for this, we follow a workaround. We go for a solution. Instead of this approach, we use different approach. And what is that approach? I'll tell you. So now this approach is here, not efficient way. Okay. So I'm going to now draw one line. As it is not the efficient way, I'm going to draw a line. And now I'm going to just write here the efficient way, how actually you are going to use the code, the efficient way. Let's talk about that. So what we are going to do now here, for the efficient way, you have to write some extra lines of code, and that's only one time. That's okay, it will take 1 minute extra, 2 minute extra for you to write this 4 or 5 lines of code. But that code now you can use lifetime, and every time you can just spend only 2-3 seconds. Otherwise you have one option. One option is spend 30-40 minutes like this by going with the traditional approach. Every time waste your 30-40 minutes. Efficient way, spend your hardly 2-3 seconds and get the solution. So let me tell you what is that. But first time you have to put the efforts by writing this code. And what is that code? Let me tell you. So, and as anyways, this is a bonus session, so please note that you will be writing this code by your own, by watching the video, and use it for your further journey whenever you have any plans, so that you can actually not only just see and forget, but you will practically see that only. In the regular training program, we have the pattern of giving practical assignments, but this is not the syllabus, it's out of the syllabus thing. So here, to ensure you're going to take it casually, so you will be given here the task to write the code by your own by playing the video, not ready-made code. Okay, so first thing what you do, actually you declare a variable of string category to write the table name, API name of table. Okay, so name, the API name of table is what, this. Okay, so this kind of data, it's possible to store in which kind of variable? String, it's a string, it's just name. So right here, string var table name or object name, your wish. Variable name is your wish. How you want to write, you can write in your wish. It's in your way. So as per your wish, you can write and give the semicolon. So I can write your table name, I can write your object name. Okay, no problem. Okay, first thing this. So mention your object. Then next step, what you have to do is, in the next step you have to actually create one more string, and that is nothing but the query. In the next step, declare object name, okay, in which you are interested. Then create a create a string variable where you want to where you will have to store entire query. So please note, now we have to create a variable to store the entire query. Why, you will come to know shortly. So what is the variable for storing a query? Of course, string only. So string and var query, and this way you have to write the query. So what you will store in the query? See, right now nothing is ready, but you know the query will compulsory start with select. So at least you write select here. So select and space, and then remaining things we will add later. Remaining things we will add later. Nothing to worry, no hurry. Okay, so this way we created a variable for storing the query also. Now next step. So what we need to do, we will create now a list of the tables, because we need list for our code. So we can use a collection to store this kind of table names. Now if I want to store this in a collection, this table name, this variable, so of course my collection should be of type string, because this is string data. So here I will write create or declare a list which can hold such multiple name of table. For example, list of course string, and where list of tables. Declare and do all these things and semicolon. Then add above table entry into this where list collection. That's very simple, you know that. Dot add, and then you are going to add your table name. So like this we have to prepare this collection. Okay, all these things are pretty much clear to you. We have seen all these things in detail in our regular training, nothing difficult for you. Now what we need to do, we need to understand some important thing. So please note that actually there is a very important or useful class in Salesforce that will give you the details about your objects and fields and etc. Okay, so let me tell you that also here. There is a very important class schema in Salesforce which tells info about objects, fields, etc. Okay, that's standard of class, by the way. This is something already prepared. So in that schema there is one function, and that function is called as describe objects. So here, this is the function, schema is a class, describe s object is a function which will give the information about the objects. Now here what we'll do, in that bracket we will actually mention the information about the object. So what we can do here, actually we can, so I'm trying to write this code in as much as possible detailed way so that you can understand what we are doing. So here in this describe objects, you pass the list of objects. Do we have list of objects? Yes, look at this, we have the list of objects. So pass this information in that bracket. Okay, because this is the part of syntax, we have to follow the syntax. Okay, copy and paste. Now here I'm interested only in the first table, so that we have already seen in the topic called as um, bulkification, etc. Or even in the collection, if I want to focus on the first item, then I will give here the bracket. This is we already saw in the topic of collection. If I want to refer the first item, so I will just use this square bracket and put 0. So this way I will refer the first item from this list of objects. So what I'm doing, actually I'm passing a list of object. In that I'm saying I want to only focus on the first entry. First entry is what? This pen. This pen. So assume that here in this list of table, you have two tables, pen table and book table and account table. So by giving here the index 0, you are actually referring to first table. That all we already know. This is all the things we already saw in our previous training, in the regular training, indexing, giving first value, everything we saw. And then now here, then give dot. So say now. So see, now this will refer what? Look at this. This will refer to the class schema, by default class. Then this function will give us the information about the list of the tables. Pass the list. In our list there is only one table, doesn't matter, we already saw in the list topic that collection can hold one value or 1000 value, doesn't matter. So in that collection I'm interested in first value. Now this entire information, whatever on the screen on the line number 25, this represents my pen object. Internally this will represent my pen object. Now what I'm going to do here, as it's going to represent my pen object, now I will go for one more function. Please note, now I will give a function that is fields.getMap.keyset. Now I will, on top of that, I will call one more function, fields.getMap.keyset. Now please note here, these are all the standard functions. These are all standard functions. What it will give? Please note here, this will represent pen object. Listen very carefully. This represents pen object. Internally, it is going to resolve automatically. We have to do nothing. It is going to automatically internally resolve. This represents pen object. Okay, what do you want? Fields of pen. Okay, fine, ready. There are 100 fields of pen. Okay, given. Next. Now you want to get in the format of map. Okay, given. Then next. In that, I want the key set. This way, actually, we are getting the keys of that map, means converting all the fields of pen object in the map format and getting the keys. Please note, key set also we already saw in our training program, that is in the topic of maps, nothing new for you. So now here what will happen? Please note, now you will get the rows, or you will get some output. I will show you first of all the output. In short, it will now give you, so let me mention here, this above or above line will give you all the fields in that object. Let me show you. System.debug, system.debug, and here the output is equal to plus sign, copy, I'll copy this entire thing. Or you can copy the entire thing, or you can also do one thing. You can actually take all this information in a collection. That's also fine. Okay, let's go for the best practice, putting all this thing in the collection. Okay, But now the problem is which collection. This will give what? This will give the columns or fields of that object. Okay, fine. It will be multiple, of course multiple. Okay, then we have to write here collection. But which collection? List or here set. Definitely map is not going to be there because just going to be it's going to just give me the field names. So how can I save field names in map? Map comes into the picture when you have key and pair value. So key and value kind of pair is there, key and value. We don't have that format. It's just a kind of one data, one direction, just data, like for example age, name, salary. So why we need map? No, we don't need map. So what we need, either list or set. Now here we know that the columns of any table will be always unique. It is impossible that in one table I can have a column called as age, I can have a column called as age, and another column as age, and another column is age. Impossible. You also know, you have learned Salesforce, you know it's impossible. So it means it's going to be unique data. Unique data means set, simple. So it's going to be set collection. Okay. But what kind of set? Number, boolean, string. Now the column names are going to be of course string, age, salary. These are the text, these are the strings. So I will write here string variable and give any name for this variable. For example, var set of all fields, something like this. That's it. So this way I'm getting all the fields of pen object, and we can also take a printout here, main system.debug, and we can just see this is not the complete code. We are just in the middle. We are just trying to see whether we are going fine or not, and this is what actually you have to do always while doing any code in the as a best practice in your project in your office. So look at this. Now I run this code and you can see here I'm getting, you can see all the columns. It's coming in the crop format. It will crop because system dot this log file will show limited data. But please note, you can see everything is coming here. Okay, it's coming one by one columns. This column created by id is related, last modified it, everything is coming, but in the crop format. That's okay, that's fine. The log file will show like this only, so it means it's working. All right, so what is the next step? Now next step is go back to that code and just now. So please note, now here please note, means list of list of all fields is ready. List is ready now. But now the main thing is how we can use that list in the query. That is the main problem. Now our main target is printing. Now our main target is how to write such a query, that in that query all the fields will be coming and we are getting the results. That is the main intention. So now everything is ready. So how we can now combine this? Please note, now in this case the for each loop will help us. In this case, for each loop will help us. What we have to do now, please note here, we will actually create a for each loop, and the for each loop we are going to create is something like this. What we'll do is, first of all, we will actually take, so we know all the fields. See, we also know now all the fields are present in var set of all fields. Okay, that's our collection. And please note, now that's what I will do here is something like this: call or use for each loop to process one by one all fields present in this. Okay, so let's do that. For bracket, and in the left hand side we have to write some kind of temporary variable that you also know. We already saw this kind of thing in our training. Nothing new for you. And this you can write. So now what kind of temporary variable we can use here for rotation, for traversing? Please note, this variable is going to contain string data. So let me write here string, and variable name, let's say var one field name. Because you also know now here this represents what? It is now a collection where we are having, let's say price, let's say first name, we are having age, we are having let's say address. Like this we are having all the fields ready now. All the fields are ready now. So take one field, come here, take one field, come here, take one field, come here, take one field, come here. and like this we can process. Okay, fine. And all these things you also know, we have seen for loop many times in our regular training. Here now what we'll do, we will now take all this information in the string. So one by one we'll concatenate. Concatenate means joining, adding one by one information in our query. So just take this query, var query, and one by one we will concatenate. So how? Var query equal to var query plus, we will keep on concatenating. How? So see, now just give this value, this value. We are concatenating one by one all the fields. And please note here again at the end, so please note at the end what we'll do, we'll concatenate with, so between all the fields in the query we know we have semicolon. So please note our query will be something like this. Okay, example, our query will be something like this: select id, name, age from pen, something like this, right? Our query will be something like this. To be precise, if I copy that pen object name, so our query will be something like this. So we need this kind of query. So you also know that between all the fields there will be a comma. Okay, we also know there will be a comma. So that's why here at the end I'm giving comma. I'm going to give a comma here. So I'm going to give a comma here, and this way I'm going to just concatenate this. So now what will happen, please pay attention. Right now assume that in this output, let's say we have only two fields. Okay, assume that in that object there are only two fields. So one is name and one is age. So now what will happen, this loop will run two times because in the result we got only two fields. So loop will run two times. First of all name will come and the query will become select, then name, comma, next again concatenate, and at the end age will come. So now the query will become select, name, comma, age, comma. That's it. This way we are keep on adding 100, 200, 500, 600 fields just by writing two lines. That is the power of programming. And now this way one by one, how many fields or columns I got from that table, that many times loop will run. Everything is fine, no problem. But now the problem is at the end, if you remember, now the output will be something like this. See, now output will be something like this: select name and age underscore c, and now the output will be something like this. This is my current output. Now you also know at the end we don't use semicolon. I hope everyone is clear. At the end we don't use semicolon. Okay, as soon as the last field comes we don't use semicolon. So we have to remove that semicolon. Please note, at the end whatever semicolon is coming, we don't use that. We have to remove this, otherwise it will be giving error. So how to remove that? Nothing to worry. There is a function, there is a function, and that function by default standard function is actually called as remove end. Okay, so I will use that function. So please note, now my current situation is this, my current situation is this. Okay, so let me just show you here. I'm just going to cut this, and please note here, if I just come here, then please note current query is going to be something like this. Okay, and now I'm going to remove from the and the end, there is a function called as remove end. What to remove? Comma. From the end we have to remove, so the last comma will be removed, and now the current query will become like this. The current query will become like this, and this way we have to actually improvise this query. So now what will happen? So now all the fields will be added, and at the end the semicolon will be removed. Okay, all fine. Now what we need, now after that we need to mention that from all these things is they are pending. That's the pending. So what we'll do now, we'll again add here at the end from in the query. So now we'll do one thing. Now add from and add table name we decided above in the query. So now what we'll do, so again we'll concatenate this query. Where is that? Var query, copy, paste. So current, or let's, I will write here current status of var query is this, and here also current status of var query is this. Okay, so now we have to modify again var query equal to var query plus, at the end we will give space and from the table name, space, again plus, we want to add the object name. Where is the object name? We already have the variable at the top, so you can just take here the variable var table name, copy, come at the bottom and paste and semicolon. And now the current situation of the var query is this: select name age from then the pen table name. Let me write here pen correct spelling, and please note done. That's all, your query is ready. So now if you have 500 fields or 600 fields, no problem. Next time, tomorrow, you want to work on account object, no problem. Just come here. Just come here. And instead of pen, write account. Next day, you want to work on contact, no problem. Just come here, write contact. And that's it. In few seconds, you are taking the benefit of this code, which is ready-made. And you can just save this code somewhere in your system and always use this code. Now here, it will give the complete query. And please note, now if you just take a printout of system.debug, and if you just take a printout of system.debug, and just I want to see the the final query is something like this, var query, and then you can also check the status of this query and see that whether this query is perfect, your query is ready or not. And this way you can actually perform all these things. Okay, so please note that here now, please note here that if I just show you the output, look at this output, look at this, look at this. The final query is what? Select id, owner id, last and name created by. You can see everything is coming, and you have saved your lots of time in the real-time project. Your query is ready. So guys, this code is very much handy, useful, and please note that I want you guys to work and try by your own. So please note this query is now deleted, and now I'm going to give you the work to write this query by your own by playing the video and do the needful. Okay, so we are done with our today's bonus session, and any more question, any questions, any queries you're having, you can mail me. And now please note, I'm going to close the session. Please note, tomorrow we are going to connect at the same time to learn something new, something more.